Southern Illinois University's Aquaculture Research Lab and Illinois-Indiana Sea Grant presents the Larval Yellow Perch Culture Video Guide. Module 2, Preparing for Eggs, Setting Up Your Incubation System. When planning and preparing to bring yellow perch eggs indoors, one of the first things you will need to do is to decide what kind of incubation vessels and system you are going to use. Farmers and researchers often utilize what they have. SIU's Aquaculture Research Lab uses McDonald jars for incubation and a recirculating aquaculture system, also known as RAS, to filter and reuse water. McDonald jars are upwelling jars that are commonly used for hatching fish eggs. Oxygen-rich water is added to the curved bottom of a conical vessel. As the water rises, eggs are gently rolled and kept in suspension. This provides oxygen for the developing embryos and can help prevent eggs from becoming smothered and manage fungus growth on the eggs, like saprolegnia. Because female yellow perch release eggs in a tube-like egg mass called an egg ribbon, farmers and researchers have not commonly used McDonald jars for incubating yellow perch eggs. One example of an alternative method is to gently place egg ribbons on a submerged structure that the industry refers to as substrate. Substrate is usually composed of plastic sheets with holes drilled in them or plastic grids like the ones used to cover light fixtures. Substrate is suspended in the water column so that the structure is not resting on the bottom of the tank. This allows for oxygen to reach all eggs. In this method, cable ties are often used to form arches to loosely keep egg ribbons in place and to prevent them from floating to the surface and becoming exposed to air or scrunching up together, which can result in eggs becoming smothered. Regardless of what type of incubation system is used, all parts of the equipment should be properly cleaned and disinfected before eggs are added. Thoroughly clean and rinse all McDonald jars, tubes, and filter screens with soap and water. Make sure to rinse off all soap residuals. Disinfect if necessary. Watch Module 1, Cleaning and Disinfection, for more information on proper cleaning and disinfection. If your water source is treated chlorinated city water, and you will be running the system prior to stocking, you may not need to disinfect all hatchery equipment at this point, and rinsing with untreated chlorine water should suffice. If your water source is well water, it is recommended that you disinfect and thoroughly rinse all hatchery equipment before using. Clean the incubation basin, scrub with soap and water, drain and rinse. Fill incubation basin with water. If your water source is city water, once the basin is full, add air stones and aerate vigorously for a minimum of 24 hours. Vigorous aeration will help remove chlorine from the water. Secure clean McDonald jars over the water basin. Place the water inflow tubes into the McDonald jars and allow them to fill and overflow into the larval catchment containers. Water should flow steadily from the McDonald jars into the larval catchment containers and back into the basin without splashing out of the system. Once the system is full and operating properly, check water quality parameters to make sure that the water is safe for eggs. Optimal water conditions for yellow perch incubation are ammonia and chlorine levels of 0 milligrams per liter, pH of 7 to 8, and water temperature between 12 and 14 degrees Celsius, which is 54 to 57 degrees Fahrenheit. A chiller may be necessary to maintain constant temperature in your incubation system. SIU's incubation system is a recirculating system that includes inline ultraviolet UV disinfection. Watch Module 3, Egg Incubation, to see how researchers and students at SIU's Aquaculture Research Lab stock and incubate yellow perch eggs.